Good afternoon. Right, fuck off. Ready? Hi, good afternoon. Is it Jay?
Oh, yeah, Jay Cartwright.
Jay, nice to meet you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Thank you very much for agreeing, first and foremost, to this interview. I really do appreciate it. As part of our study here at Exeter, fever is a very big part of the Exeter student nightlife. And as you are fully aware that we are studying the effects of alcohol consumption on students, I was just wondering whether, as a bouncer at Fever and Boutique, you have any interesting stories or experiences that you could perhaps share with me.
Yeah, it's a really interesting question, mate. So I've probably been working for Fever and Boutique about, give it 3-4 years. And so throughout my time, I've come across a couple of high intoxication encounters by some of these nutters. Just absolute muppets, really.
Yeah.
So probably my best example is probably, give it about 2 years ago now. 3-4 lads, all sort of, £200 plus. They're big boys. They're probably, borderline bodybuilder kind of deal. Just far too much alcohol. I wouldn't allow them in because, far too drunk. They just cause chaos inside.
Yeah, understandable.
I denied them access and, they started, ganging up on me, throttling me, and sort of cornering me. And we were short-staffed that night anyway, so my mate Tim wasn't even working the doors with me. So, it's just, there's a lack of support from me anyway.
That's really interesting. And would you say that you were scarred at all by this mentally? And would you say that the effect of that night has sort of impacted you as a result of the sort of high intoxication of these students, that it's now affecting part of our studies, that it has the potential to affect a lot more people than one realises? Would you say that because of that incident, things you've changed as a person, or is there any way that it affected you more than you thought it would?
Well, just firstly, I don't get emotionally scarred by that because I'm a hard nutter, right? Secondly, I don't know. You got to be really careful in this day and age, because regulations, government legislation, just the law's really tight nowadays. You don't want to be doing something that you'll regret in the morning, really, because you can easily mess it up and end up in the slammer, really. So. Yeah. It's all about in portions, really. The correct proportions of alcohol. Enough to have a good night, but still be in control and know what you're doing the next morning. Really, that's all the advice I've really got. Just be switched on when you go out, have a good time, but don't get it wrong, really.
Do you feel that bouncers play a very significant and valuable role in essentially the protection and possibly even the safety of students, but we're not necessarily just studying students' consumption of alcohol, but perhaps around the general public in general?
Oh God, yeah. I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I think me and my mate Tim, we got one of the most important jobs in the whole world, really. I mean, it might not be pretty paid, but we get the job done. It's. I'm sorry, mate. I'm a bit tired. What was the actual question? I'm kind of
No, that's all right. Do you feel that you play as a very valuable and vital role in the general protection of students, and essentially that you're their sort of big brother watching over them whilst they're having a sort of good time?
Yeah, well, in this day and age, the student culture is all about drinking, and obviously people are going to get it wrong, start drinking too much, and I think we're of paramount importance, really, for just watching, having a careful eye on them. Because we're all brothers and sisters of God, really. So we got to watch out for each other, really. And so me, my mate Tim, all the bouncers around the world, especially in student cities, just look after them and just sort of guide them into the club and hopefully into the cab and home safely. Maybe a bit of action if they're lucky, but apart from that, I
Lovely.
think we've got quite an important job.
Do you? Thank you very much for that. That's really helpful insight. And just the last couple of questions. Do you feel that high intoxication, I mean, you as a bouncer, being on the forefront of it all and seeing everything with your own eyes at the time of it happening, have there been instances where you feel that because of the because so many students have taken so much alcohol, that there's been possibly health risks at stake? Have you had to call ambulances out? is there any sort of health implications because of this high consumption?
Yeah. Well, you know what they're saying, mate. Alcohol, it's a drug. It's toxic for the body, really. So yeah, there've been. I haven't even got enough, fingers and toes to count the amount of times where just had a couple of lads trying to show off to the girls, downing too much beer, too much spirit, getting it completely wrong, being far out of control, just not in control, far too intoxicated, don't know what they're doing, haven't got a clue what's going on, and we've ended up having to stick them in their ambulance and then go over to the local hospital, get a stomach pump, really. But it's a sad thing, really. I really think it starts at the grassroots, really. Parents have got to educate their kids on the importance of avoiding too much alcohol, really, and just enjoying it and using it as a tool to have fun, but not mess it up, really. Bloody muppets.
Yeah, no, I agree entirely, thank you, and that's really helpful, Jay. That's really helpful information. Is there anything else that perhaps you'd like to say just before we finish off the interview there? Is there any advice or anything,
Oh, God.
Anything you have to say to the Exeter Students' University?
Just be sensible, really, fellas. You only got about 70 years left on this planet. You don't want to end up with the majority of it in prison, really.
Lovely.
You don't want to ruin your career or anything. Just have fun, but don't get it wrong. All right.
Thank you so very much, Jay, for your time and understanding, and I really do appreciate it. Maybe see you out in Exeter at the next Monday Night Fever.
Yes, I can't wait for it, Jeff. Thank you so much.